morning and welcome to Muddy River Mornings. I'm Bob Goff.
And I'm Brittany Bull.
It has been an incredibly busy week here at Muddy River News in terms of content and for everything from news, weather, and
sports.
So we'll get into all that later. But first, it's time for our friends at Crazy Cakes, and this looks really good.
This is always one of my favorite times, obviously.
Of course.
And it's kind of why I get up in the morning to come here.
Don't blame you.
Today we have cupcakes, so maybe something a little different to start off your morning, a treat kind of morning, if you will. We have a lemon raspberry cupcake that's made with their lemon chiffon icing and a raspberry puree on top. And then the strawberry has the same strawberry icing and a strawberry drizzle on top. They also served us some great coffee.
Yes, which is much needed today.
Yeah. Today, though, in my cup is the specialty coffee, which is a raspberry white chocolate. And I hear it is Brian the Head Crazy's fave. So
Is it?
thank you for sharing this.
What the name? One of these is called a berry white, correct? Yes. This one?
Lemon raspberry and then the strawberry cream.
Okay.
I don't think there's a name for a berry white.
was
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do it because you obviously didn't want me to because you weren't going to pitch to it. So I'm not going to do my Barry White impression. Fine. So lots of things on the docket here, as we talked about earlier. The Lyle Miller murder trial going on in Monroe County. This morning will continue. So as soon as I'm done here, I'm actually going to head back west and back to Paris. Springtime in Paris. It's always fun. And see if we get a verdict today. The jury deliberated from 11:15 until a little bit before 6 yesterday.
Wow.
So yes, so it was both attorneys gave impassioned pleas for their respective sides. I spoke with family members from both sides yesterday too. David had covered the early part of the trial. I covered yesterday, and I'm going to cover again today. And Brittany's favorite stoplight was also in the discussion this week.
Yes, that was one of the topics from City Council. They have approved unanimously to bring that back. That, along with the 48th Street development, putting the kibosh on that, were probably the two big City Council and Quincy news stories that I think.
Didn't you dress up as the 25th Street stoplight for Halloween or something on here?
I did, and I plan on bringing it back.
Nice.
You know.
But you have to have lights on because you dressed up and like you were covered. So
I was covered in trash bags too, because I think that's kind of what they were.
Yes, that's what it looked like.
But I was being mistaken for maybe some religion, so that I wasn't trying to do that.
I think you were aware.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I guess we'll have to put light. You're going to have to get lit. Like that never happened.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
You're on a roll today.
Like I said, very little sleep, a lot of Crazy Cakes coffee. So, also the final thing news-wise to talk about was the interesting situation in terms of the mayor's race, in which independent candidate Linda Moore asked some football players at QU to do a little campaigning for, and apparently some people took some umbrage with it. And I think the problem there was that they actually used Quincy University vans. Had the students just been going out and about campaigning, that's what students do. They do literature, they campaign for people who they support. But you really shouldn't use like university vehicles to do that sort of thing.
I do think she made a statement very quickly right off the bat, which I think is good in a leader, responsiveness and transparency. And she said right off the bat that she was going to reimburse QU for those vans. I read the comments all the time, and I did notice somewhere in there that she was also a donor normally to QU.
Yes, she's
a regular donor.
She's currently an adjunct professor. She's a former member of the Board of Trustees, and she has donated several thousands of dollars to the school and its athletic programs in the past. And she's an alum, of course. So, and of course, she had a very successful business career at ESPN. So she has the wherewithal to support her school. And again, in this case, students do this kind of stuff all the time for candidates, but probably the students directly should have been involved and no university personnel and vehicles and stuff like that. I think that was the thing. So
I get it. I did see also in the comments that people referred to the Trope campaign
Mm-hmm.
doing the same thing with the superintendent, not necessarily having students
No,
campaigning.
Superintendent Roy Webb did a commercial on school property during school hours for the Trope campaign during his first. Yes, that is a fact. So, and yeah, that press shouldn't have been done
It
either.
is probably, that might be apples to oranges.
No, I think it's a very direct correlation.
Well, one was using tax money and one was using
Well,
private.
Yes, that's true. So, I mean, if you want to look at which one was probably more egregious, no, you shouldn't be doing, a person who is a public employee should not be doing campaign work on his own time and on school property, that's for sure. But the case with QU was the possibility of putting its tax exempt status in jeopardy.
I see.
So those were the differences there. So anyway, so.
Lots of rules.
So many rules running for office. Yeah, I've done it before. I've helped candidates do it before, and yeah, there's lots of hoops to jump through. That's for sure. So, we are going to take a quick break. Got your taxes done yet? Oh yeah,
Yes.
you did. Oh yes, and
I told
you're
you
very
to not-
sad about
and
it.
I told you to stop
Talking
asking
about
me,
it.
and I don't want
Yes.
to talk about it.
Well, we got to talk to our friends of VNR, and they have to give us some advice. I'm sorry I made you sad.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back.
Muddy River Engraving has been fantastic to work with, especially when I need something last minute, quickly. Andrew has just been fantastic to get me everything I need in a very quick, effective manner.
We work in a fast-paced industry, so for us, the fact that he personally delivers to it, that's one of the best things, and always comes through ahead of schedule.
What do I love about Muddy River Engraving? I love that Andrew supports the businesses that work with him. We'll see him in here almost every week, and that's nice that two people are helping each other out, pushing each other's product.
Hi, I'm Glenn Swick, Designated Managing Broker at Swick Realty, and today I want to talk about pre-listing home inspections. This proactive step can save you time, money, and stress when selling your home. Let's dive in. A pre-listing inspection identifies potential issues before you put your home on the market. This includes things like roof damage, plumbing leaks, or electrical concerns. By addressing these issues up front, you can avoid surprises during the buyer's inspection. Fixing problems in advance also makes your home more appealing and can even justify a higher asking price. Plus, a clean inspection report builds trust with buyers and gives them confidence that your home is move-in ready. While a pre-listing inspection isn't mandatory, it's a smart move that can make the selling process smoother and faster. Have questions about pre-listing inspections or preparing your home for sale? Reach out today. I'm here to help you every step of the way.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
Hello, I am Maddie McCartney, Miss Quincy 2025. I am also the granddaughter of two amazing grandfathers. Besides having me in common, these men both live with heart disease. One needed stents and the other had open heart surgery. In honor of our loved ones, join me in these steps to manage heart disease risk. Choose healthy food and drinks. That means a high-fiber, low-fat diet that limits salt, sugar, and alcohol. Doing that helps manage blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes risk, and maintains a healthy weight. Talk to your healthcare provider about exercises that is safe for you. Don't smoke, or if you do, work on quitting. And take charge of medical conditions by seeing your healthcare provider regularly and taking any medications as prescribed. For more information, go to the website on your screen. Your heart health is important to you and to those who love you.
Women are exceptional. In the workplace, in the home, in the community, we fill so many roles vital not only to our success, but also the success of those around us. We deserve health care that is as exceptional as we are. Blessing Health meets the varied needs of every woman, from OB/GYN care and breast health to pediatrics for those of us who have little ones in our life. Blessing Health, with you every step of the way.
Attention business owners, are you looking for a way to invest in your team and reduce your tax burden? Here's some great news. There's a new employer tax credit available for starting retirement plans for your employees. Here's how it works. If you're a small business, less than 100 employees, or self-employed, the government wants to make it easier for you to provide retirement savings options for your employees. By starting a new retirement plan, you may qualify for a huge tax credit. This credit covers up to 100% of your administrative costs for the first 3 years with a maximum of $5,000 annually. That's not all. If you contribute to employee accounts, you could qualify for an additional $1,000 tax credit per employee. It's never been easier or more rewarding to provide your team with the tools they need to save for their future. Retirement plans can be affordable, easy to set up, and show your team that you're invested in their success. There are many different types, such as simple retirement plans, SEP, and 401k plans. Need help getting started? Contact your financial advisor and contact your tax accountant to educate you on your tax savings.
Welcome back. Muddy River Mornings, remember, is always driven by Hess Auto Agency. We want to thank our friends there for their sponsorship, and of course, blessing with the Medical Minute and all your real estate tips from Glenn Swick as well. So we can't do this without sponsors, and we sure appreciate it. And another one of them, that's our buddy Andrew at Muddy River Engraving.
Yes, we just heard from him, and just a friendly reminder that he is donating all for all QHS apparel. He's donating 40% of that to the Let There Be Light for QHS Baseball Field Fund.
Yeah, and again, they do great work, with helping support the schools with all their stuff and everything. So I'm going to let you pitch to Matt and talk about sports because I still can't talk about it.
Well, yeah, speaking of baseball fields, here's Matt with sports.
Well, Muddy Buddies, it didn't take long for March Madness to turn into March Sadness. The University of Missouri men's basketball team did not perform Thursday night in the NCAA tournament. So the Tigers are out. So all my attention goes to enjoying the tournament instead of rooting wholeheartedly for the Tigers. But that's okay, because it was a fun Thursday watching basketball. It's going to be a fun weekend watching basketball. But we got so much else going on to keep us occupied as well. So spring sports are in season now. So we have our first kind of big games going on this weekend. We will have coverage of the Quincy High School versus Quincy Notre Dame baseball team on Saturday. They're playing in a triangular out at QU Stadium. And the third game of the day will be a matchup of the crosstown rivals. So that'll be kind of fun to kick off the spring season that way. And then also we're going to put a cap on the high school basketball season this weekend. Sunday and Monday, we will be releasing our all-area girls and boys basketball teams as well as our players of the year. So you can look forward to checking that out. Each player of the year gets a special Shuck on a Truck edition. So those are fun, and we're doing our best to highlight the best and the brightest our area has to offer. So kind of fun. And then don't forget, we got the Muddy River Showcase coming up June 21st. That's our annual Illinois versus Missouri Senior All-Star Game. We've sent out invitations. We're working on the rosters, trying to get all the plans set for that. So make sure you check that out. We'll have information coming to you about that in the coming weeks and the coming months. So, it seems far away right now when you say June 21st, but it'll get here quick. And again, a lot of these players you're going to see on the all-area teams are going to be participating in that. So really looking forward to that event coming up again, June 21st at John Wood Community College's Student Activity Center. In the meantime, though, we're going to be crisscrossing here, there, and everywhere throughout the Northeast Missouri and West Central Illinois, trying to get you the best coverage we can of spring sports because it's time. It's time to get outdoors. It's time to enjoy the sun enjoy some warmer weather, and enjoy some baseball, some softball, some soccer, whatever you're interested to get out and do it. We'll have a little more outdoors stuff coming up. So, and for those of you outdoorsmen out there, don't forget your fishing licenses in Illinois expire at the end of the month. So make sure you renew your license by April 1st so you don't get caught red-handed. So anyway, have a great weekend. We'll keep you updated as always, as best we can at MuddyRiverSports.com. And if you have any questions, reach out to us anytime. Have a great weekend.
The reason I didn't want to talk about sports was because my Missouri Tigers choked it off again in the NCAA tournament.
So they're done.
They're done.
I'm glad I didn't.
I thought this year was going to be different.
I didn't pick them this year.
I picked with my heart. My head was saying they were going to do this again. I'm like, they're going to. Brittany, like you don't want to talk about your taxes, I don't want to talk about my Tigers.
All right.
So can we move on, please?
Yes. We can move on to previewing what's coming up this week. I think we will have another business spotlight.
I think, Ron talks to the folks at RK Cleaning Service to let you know about what they offer. I think one of the cool things about Business Spotlight is we don't always talk to our advertisers there. A lot of times we talk to people just, hey, come on, talk. We just want to talk about small business. We want to support small business. Now, after this, a lot of these people do decide, hey, I want to buy some ads or I want to talk about more. But that's not a prerequisite. People can come in and do that. So
It's a nice little space where people can learn, especially like what they need to know about the person, not just exactly what their service is. It also kind of brings out the character of who it is you're working with. I like that service.
No, it's I think it's anyway. So we'll have a business spotlight this week, and then we'll have we've also begun a new feature, another one of Brittany's ideas, to talk about everybody's favorite topic in town, and that will be potholes.
Yes, so we're going to go ahead and post it. Once again, like I said, we're going to try and post it bi-monthly. It is the Pothole of the Month, sponsored by Delta Tire. What it is I'm asking you to bring your best creative pictures of the potholes in and around the community and then submit them in correlation to the Facebook post. So your submit photo will be in the comments section, if you will. Now then, how do you win the contest? It's the most likes. What do you win? A free alignment, because that's something you're going to need after all these potholes from Delta Tire. We like to thank them for that. Also, coming up, this week we didn't get to do a Club Muddy because we're tag teaming in on the trial and Ashley is away, and so we're going to possibly do a double Club Muddy feature next week. We have a great guest coming on, and then we're going to sit down and discuss maybe on a separate one just all what's happening in the news. We have a lot going on.
No doubt.
There's an election, if you didn't know.
Yeah, 2 actually. So
yeah.
Lots of fun stuff going on. So, and then one more feature that we have also is our birthday of the month.
Yes, so lucky for me, I got a special birthday of the month sponsor. It kind of correlates with March. Our friends at Old Wolfhound Pub decided to donate a gift certificate to the birthday of the month winner. I will make one more post about that, and how you enter for that is again in the comment section with your name and birthday. And then we randomly pick a birthday of the month.
And now you'll notice our attire today. I'm in a sweater. Brittany is dressed for springtime.
It is the first day of spring.
But it's also cold outside.
Well, I'm a woman, so I can bear it.
Wow, you're tough. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, if you haven't noticed, women usually wear dresses to occasions in the freezing cold.
I've noticed that from time to time.
The only time you'll probably really see me wearing a dress around these parts are on Muddy River Mornings.
Also, as part of that, though, again, I mentioned earlier covering the courthouse, the Miller trial. The courthouse was pretty cold because I think they've shut off the heat since spring happened. So, and plus we'd had all this warm weather.
And maybe they haven't had that many trials in there.
I don't think so. Anyway, so we're going to hear from our friends, Dr. Jones and Brent Clare, with How's the Weather Up There from Farm and Home Supply.
So, Brent, why is April so clean?
Why is April so clean? I don't know.
Because April showers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm meteorologist Nathaniel Jones. This is meteorologist Brent Clare. This how's the weather up there? Normally your weekend forecast and the good and the bad. Last week we were living fat and happy, I would call us. We were super excited. The temperatures were nice. We knew the storms were on the way.
Yeah.
Today, I'm not fat and happy.
No.
I'm fat and sad.
Yeah, fat and sad,
Because
yeah.
that wind, man,
Ooh, okay.
it's disastrous.
So let's talk about last Friday just a little bit. So we did verify our forecast that we were going to see severe storms. We saw damaging winds occur in the county. So that's why the sirens were sounded. Everyone will say, why is the sirens being sounded? Is because we saw damaging winds. It was really tough, though, to figure out when to hit it for Quincy. Sorry, Quincy folks, you live on the edge of our borders, and we sometimes just don't know. And if our friends from Marion and Lewis County could just give us a little more intel, we could help out. But anyway, we sounded all the sirens because we had damage reports. So that's why that is. No tornadoes in the county yet. We're still looking. A lot of, in my neighborhood, we had one shed blown out on our neighbor's house. Another friend's house had a machine shed taken down.
Yeah, a few trees and trampolines everywhere, including mine.
Yes, I have one trampoline that traveled at least 1/2 mile, if not more, from Lorain to the outskirts of the Lorain proper, as I would call it. So it was a windy day, and of course we were not exactly the big winner of it. Obviously, southern Missouri and southern Illinois got the worst of it. Then yesterday, another round of storms came through. Still looking for damage reports there, but I said last week, we may be under what was called a moderate risk. We may not necessarily be the one who gets the big storms. It's just everyone in that area is
needs to be on alert.
Be on alert, and sure enough, it was further to the south. So with all that said, I do see a little bit of a relaxation in the weather as we celebrate our first day of spring today. We might actually have a nice entry to spring weather, but it's not exactly what you call. But it is. I take that back. Average. Average
today?
Temperature. Yes.
Really?
The 7 day or the 5 to 7 day forecast is actually right at average. For more, you ever take a degree or two. So
everybody just has high expectations because we got spoiled a little bit last week. They're like, oh, this is spring.
Exactly.
No, you can say actually late March is this average.
Mid 50s and low 40s is actually the average for this time of year. So for everyone
Don't like it. Might be average. I don't like it.
Patience, my grasshopper. So, it's like everyone's thinking, it's cold again. No, this is average. So, for another few days, and then the end of next week, we see another system start to brew up again. We're going to watch carefully, and then April does look to come in a little rougher, but again, that's still 10 days out. I want to make sure my models are more accurate before that, but still, we were talking earlier about how in like a lion, out like a lamb might have to do more with the rain than it is with the wind. So some people are saying we came in like a lamb. So we're going to end the line. So I'm sorry, folks. I'm doing all my best here. So
as far as red flag warnings, I know we've had some issues with fires here recently. Do you think that's going to subside a little bit, or with that wind and a little bit of dry spell that we might have here, it's still kind of a danger?
So a few things. One, obviously, 2/10 of a rain I think we got yesterday, and the snow this morning. A cooler atmosphere does not necessarily mean a moisture and more. It is slightly more drier or less or denser, but it will take longer to dry out the ground a little bit. The other thing is we're finally starting to see green grass growing.
True.
So that is a good promise. Some other good things working for us. The frost is just about out of the ground, so getting across these fields that catch on fire is not as bad as it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. For those of you who own ground, you know that first few weeks of March, you try to drive into a sod patch and you're just making ruts. So fortunately, that's working for us. And so again, you add all these together, we are slowly getting away from that more tinder-like atmosphere, but we still have a few more days. I would like to wait until we lift that ban. And I'm working with the emergency management and with the fire chiefs of the county when that is appropriate, because again, you're talking to a firefighter here who was sick and tired to listen to that pager go off every single day for a grass fire. It was even the other day. Was it the day before yesterday, Tuesday? A few fires popped out. It's like, oh man, you're just waiting for it to be next. So So for those of you who have heeded the ban, we appreciate it greatly, and for those who haven't, please listen and learn your lesson. So, but anyway, so hopefully as we get greener grass, we'll have to start worrying less about burning grass and mowing grass maybe.
Correct. How close would you say yours is to mowing?
Ooh, well, it depends on if you want to just kind of clean it off and make it look good, or if you actually need to actually mow it. We're still a long ways away from mowing it, but it could definitely use a dethatch and a touch up, So
and they always recommend kind of aerating if you can. Spike your lawn in order to get the nutrients that the soil needs in order, hopefully, grow more green grass and a thicker grass.
That's right. That's right.
Talking with a few soil experts too here recently about the type of grass that you need to put down right now too, of trying to worry about that thick grass. There's quite a few that we carry at Farm and Home. One's called a Gold Fescue, which is pretty resilient across all types of weather, including what we're having now. Because you want something, as far as a seed, that's going to be resilient to about anything, and that Gold Fescue is pretty good. So
very good, yeah. We're getting a good opportunity time to do that, and again, good aeration and thatching will help that out, and that dethatching, of course, getting that dead material off the ground and getting that some air and light into that ground does a world of wonder to your lawn. So hopefully, next few days we'll start drying out and it'll be a little chilly, but it's still sweatshirt weather. It's still perfect.
Not too bad.
A good time where you can actually work up a little sweat and cool off at the same time. So it's just the right weather to start your gardening and your lawn maintenance time for this year.
And today's spring, right?
And today's spring. Happy spring, everyone.
All right, welcome back. A couple more previews that we have for you. Don't forget Muddy TV Cribs. Did I say it right?
You did say it right.
So we'll be taking a tour.
Yeah.
How was that? How was this one?
This one is a little different from what we normally do because we have been doing a lot of those on the Quincy Preserves. We're going off the trail a little bit and visiting a John Benya.
Yes, John Benya. Yes, a Benya home.
It is. I fell in love with it.
Yeah, they're very cool.
It is.
Yeah, there's a lot of those around town. Of course, he's a Quincy architect, and he's left his mark all over the town, that's for sure. So
I went there with Randy, who is, like I say, the best videographer on this side of the Mississippi and the other side. And
nice.
He also...
Way to cover your butt there.
And he also, we're coming up with a new Muddy River Gems, too.
They go artifact hunting, I hear.
I know.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Now, of course, we'll run Cribs on Monday, and then Muddy River Gems runs on the following Monday, and we'll talk about that more. We'll have the promotions going for that as well. And, of course, Muddy TV Cribs is brought to you by our friends at C. Quincy, who also sponsor the calendar that is on our website. And do we have some fun stuff coming up this weekend?
Yes, according to the calendar. Actually, tonight is the Patio Princess Dinner from our friends at the Patio. What that is all your favorite princesses are there. This is more for the kids, but I mean, if you want to have the Disney in you as an adult, it's for you too. And I've heard Prince Charming himself will be there. Also going on. What?
I wasn't planning on being there.
Shh, Bob. Also on the calendar was the American Q Sports Alliance Illinois State Tournament continues at the OLC. What that is to me, it's pool time.
Pool time.
Yeah.
Steve Inger wrote a story on that you can read in Muddy River Sports as well. So he did a little action on that as well. So anyway, busy weekend, always stuff going on here in Quincy. People say, there's nothing to do. But if you look at the C. Quincy calendar, you always find something fun to do.
Absolutely.
So I have to head back to God's country, or otherwise known as Northeast Missouri now.
Yes.
So
do your due diligence.
I will. Brittany's in charge. David's out.
You
I'm here.
heard it.
Brittany's in charge. So if you come back and any complaints, please call Brittany at 555-1212. I didn't give him your real number. Come on.
The one complaint that I notice the most, though, is sometimes people will say, link is broken, and I take that very seriously, but 9 times out of 10, they just haven't refreshed their browser.
Yeah, or cleared their cache. That's another thing. So have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you next week.